Hi everybody, this is Pleiadian Star Healer and welcome to this week's Pleiadian Starcast. So this Starcast goes from January 17th to January 24th. Now, I'm going to try something different because I felt guided to do that. I feel like they told me that I needed to do something more like with a topic, and the topic that came to mind was self-acceptance. So I feel like I need to deliver a message about self-acceptance, what we can do, like what is the main energy that we can approach the self-acceptance, you know, like the opposing, the root cause, energies from the past, 2 paths to the healing that you can do, what you need to work on, how the cosmos are supporting you for your journey on self-acceptance, your hopes and fears, and then what could you expect from doing this kind of shadow work in diving into self-acceptance. Okay, so, but before I begin, I'm going to be using the Blue Messiah deck, the chakra reading cards, the mystical healing cards, and cosmic reading cards. I love that. I don't know why. They're really, really great. All right, so I feel like they wanted me to talk about self-acceptance and how we can go about that. So let's see what deck needs to be the main energy. Okay, so when we're talking about self-acceptance, right? I put this to the side so I have space. Okay. So what is the energy of how should we approach self-acceptance? And we have the blue flame. So this is about healing. This is about evolving. So we need to look at self-acceptance in the eyes of wanting to evolve, like consciously choosing to evolve and doing the work and growing and just approaching it head on. Okay, because self-acceptance, when we have that, we don't care what other people think. You know, we don't care what other people say about us. It is harder for people to manipulate us and to gaslight us or to abuse us in certain ways, you know, or take advantage of our kindness, because we accept ourselves, and they can't use against us what we already accept about ourselves, you know, because we accept not just our positives, but also our negative, you know, and by doing that, we become whole because we understand that we're, you know, we have to deal with polarity and just unifying these two energies, that we're not afraid of the shadow, we're not afraid of the darkness, but we actually see it as something that can actually empower us if we know how to view that part of us as something that can help us instead of as a weakness. Okay, so what is the opposing energy to this blue flame? And we have here, okay, be more objective. So I feel like be more objective. So perhaps we're not looking too much into it, you know, because I feel like people can say, I accept myself, but really they really don't, you know, and it's easy for others to manipulate or to make them feel like they're inferior, make them feel like they're a burden, or make them feel like a reject, or make them feel like they're weird, and, you know, just make them feel really less about themselves. Okay, so becoming more objective is, I feel like it has definitely about looking into it more and really trying to understand where it's coming from and why you don't accept yourself, you know, and to actually step back and really take a look at the people around you in your life, the people from your past, how they affected you on that level, and how they affected you for not being able to accept yourself or wanting to be accepted in other places. So you're willing to change your personality, change, you know, your form of thinking or form of talking, form of dressing, just so you can fit in. So perhaps, you know, in your childhood, you know, you weren't allowed to be yourself. You know, like everything you did was wrong, and they will tell you, don't do that, to stop this, to stop that. And so you feel like, I'm not accepted, so I need to sort of become like a chameleon, you know, where you have to change your color so you can just fit into the environment. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, I feel like this is asking you to really take a look at your environment and who you have in your life and why you feel like you have to be accepted by others to feel happy, to feel whole. So like, what is the root cause of this? Two energies. And we have here, we have minimizing guilt. So I feel like this has to do with, because also I feel like this is like a warning of manipulation and like gaslighting. But I feel like also, like what I'll say about gaslighting, I feel like this is also about feeling guilty to be yourself, because perhaps others are going to get mad, or they might threaten you know, to break up, or they might threaten to stop being your friend anymore. You know, sometimes we could just be so afraid to stand alone that we prefer to shift into many versions of ourselves so we could just fit in. You get what I'm saying? And so the root cause of that is just having that guilt of wanting to be your true self, because you're afraid that others might outcast you or exclude you, you know, and just be like, or banish you and be like, you know what, you're not a part of us no more, because, you know, you're in direct opposition to how we think or how we feel, you know. So this definitely is a cause there. And I thought also, if you look, you know, we have like the red, and red is the root chakra, and this is about feeling secure, you know, feeling stable. And there's fear there. So there's fear of wanting to be yourself, and fear of that if you're not accepted, then it's like, oh, I'm going to be alone forever and no one's ever going to want me. So there's a lot of fear there. So past energies that are affecting that energy presently. Let's see. And we have, okay, relieving anxiety. So this, well, I heard like social anxiety, just the anxiety of not knowing, like if you do step into your power and be yourself, you know, are you going to lose people? Are you going to be happy? You know, there's a lot of questions about the future, and what do you do if you actually do step into your power and actually be okay with standing by yourself, and just letting go of everyone who is in opposition of you being your true self. So there is definitely anxiety there. I feel like I have to pick another card from this one. I saw this one. So what is this? Okay, we have life purpose. So I do feel like there's questions of just the overall identity, you know, of how do you exist in the world that you're in, and just really knowing what steps you can take to move forward. How can you go about accepting yourself? And because I feel like people want to accept themselves, but at the same time, they want to keep the people that don't accept them. And it can't be like that. You have to let go one or the other. And I feel like if you have to choose between yourself and other people, please always choose yourself. Always. Okay? Always choose yourself. Because people who are your people will never make you feel like you have to choose. Okay? They'll just support you in whatever transformations that you undergo. Okay, so let's see, with two paths healing, let me use this one and then the other one. So what is two paths that you can take on the journey to self-acceptance? And we have, see this one. So what's the first path? Okay, we have inner alchemy. So this is about consciously choosing to change why you can't accept yourself, and really, as I was saying, you know, really looking into it a lot more of why you want to fit in so badly, why are you willing to do the things that you do so you can fit in. I feel like also this could be with family as well. Perhaps there's fear of losing family because okay, so I feel like this also could also go with like different forms of belief, like spirituality. You know, perhaps you're afraid to tell your family this, like, this is what I believe in, and this is what I am, and you might lose. So there's definitely a need for inner change. You know, learning to really accept yourself and really learning to free yourself. Because if you see, you know, this person here is like, or her chest out, and there's that feeling, that vibration of surrender. You have the green with the heart chakra. So it's definitely about changing the within and releasing the things that no longer serve you, or that not in alignment with yourself and with the person that you're trying to be. So what other path to healing can you take? Okay, we have the transformation. So we have about really looking into transforming. And you remember how I said about the blue flame, about about evolving and just consciously like choosing to heal and wanting to heal. So definitely there is a need for transformation and in need of inner transformation, because you can change, we grow older, we can eat well, sleep well, exercise, you know, but if inside you're still the same, it sort of defeats the purpose. So definitely this calls for some deep, serious inner transformation. So let's see now what you can work on in regards to self-acceptance. We have this one here. Okay, we have communication. So I feel like this is definitely about communicating your needs and really telling people, this is what I want to do and I'm gonna do it. And if you accept it, fantastic. And if you don't, that's also okay. Because when you accept yourself, you're okay with people walking out of your life. Yes, of course it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be like, oh man, I really thought this person would support me in this transformation. But at one part, you also know that it is evident that they aren't, and that's okay, because you're letting go of people who are no longer in alignment with you and on your journey of healing. So I definitely feel like this is a time to speak up and perhaps tell family and friends and say, you know, no, this stuff is not okay with me. You know, manipulation is not okay with me. You know, gaslighting is not okay with me. Abuse is not okay with me. Or just if you're stuck in a family with certain religious perspectives, but you want to go outside of that to be like, no, this is not for me. And either you're going to accept me unconditionally. So that means like you're not going to just be forcing your expectations and your beliefs on me, or you're going to love me conditionally and I just have to walk away. Okay, so I feel like definitely this is about, and I feel like this also has to do about talking to yourself. So this could be about practicing affirmations, you know. So when you go to sleep at night, tell yourself, no, I accept myself. I accept myself completely. I accept all of me, my flaws, my strengths, my weaknesses, because I am beautiful, I am divine. I accept myself fully. Even whilst I am changing and making the changes necessary, I accept myself fully. So this kind of communication towards yourself can definitely help you on, you know, that inner alchemy, that inner transformation that the energy is telling you that you need to do. Okay, and what else? So let's see. I'm gonna do this one. So what else could the collective do towards the self-acceptance? Okay, well, we have a yes, and this is about going forward with it, because if you look at her, you know, she's like also flying. Okay, and there's like that relief. So definitely that's telling you yes, go for it and just trust in yourself and love yourself. Let me just on this one. So what is this one here? Access clear thinking. So really get clear about the stuff that you want, because I do know, I'm not saying you can't consider others, because then it's almost like promoting, you know, self-centeredness. But because this is where your own judgment, your own discernment comes into play, and you have to see about, which is why I said, you know, view the people around you, and the people who you know to be toxic, whether you love them to death or not, you know deep down whether they're good for you or not. And so this is where the access clear thinking is, like to really get clear on the people you're keeping around, and do you really need to start downsizing, you know, friends and cutting family off, because you can love them to death, but you can love them from afar and say, you know, I cannot be around this type of energy or type of people where they make me feel like I can't be my true self. Because you could be working on your authentic self and wanting to be yourself, but if you're surrounded by people who don't accept you, how can you be yourself? How can you be your authentic self when you have to put on a mask? Or be like what I said, like a chameleon, where you have to adapt to your surroundings just because you want to be around people because you love them so much. Do you get what I'm saying? So definitely this is about really getting clear about what's really important to you and really making those hard decisions. I do feel like that's where communication comes into play as well. Because when we do the access clear thinking, when we're trying to think clearly, we talk to ourselves. And we really need to get clear about what's important to us, you know, make goals, you know, where do I want to see myself? What kind of energy I want to have? What kind of vibration I want to carry as I walk through my life? So definitely this is calling you to really have a serious talk with yourself and really get clear, you know, as brutally honest as your own mind can deal with. No negative self-talk, you know, but really just be really honest and be clear about where do you really see yourself? Do you want to be spending your whole life trying to be accepted by people who perhaps will never accept you because they themselves can't even accept themselves? You understand what I'm saying? Or just trying to fit into people and get people's love because you feel like if they don't accept your love, then you're not worthy. When is that going to end? So you definitely need to really sit down and talk to yourself. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? You know, is this good for me? Is this where I want to see myself? Is this where I want to stay for the rest of my life? You understand what I'm saying? So this, I feel like definitely the life purpose is about talking about your life, like what they say, like the midlife crisis, when you reevaluate your life and really think about your life and say, where am I, you know, and how can I get out of it? Can I change this? I want to change this. So what do you do? What can I do to change this? So definitely there is a need for a really honest self-talk, okay, and a talk with others. Once you already have an idea or you're really concrete about how you're going to go about it, then that's when you communicate with people and you tell them, this is me, I want to be myself, and I don't feel like you can accept me that way, and so I'm sorry, I love you, but we have to part ways, you know. So let's see how the universe is supporting this journey on self-acceptance. I feel like I have to use this one. So let's see. So how is the universe supporting this journey of self-acceptance? So let's do this one. And we have, okay, let go. See? Letting go of things that don't serve you, people don't serve you, or at least that's not in alignment to who you are or where you will want to be. Because I'm not saying, you know, let go of everybody, everything, and, you know, unless, of course, you really see that they're detrimental to your health, your emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. So definitely the universe is supporting your decision to let go of things that don't serve you, the people who don't serve you, situations, and just allowing, like we had here, allowing the transformation to actually happen. Because we need to allow it to happen, to have that inner alchemy, to have that inner change. We need to consciously choose to let it happen. We can't say it superficially to like, I want to, but your mind and your insides are like, no, not really. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because then we're always going to be repeating repetitive cycles, repetitive behavior. We're always going to find ourselves stuck, and then we're going to wallow in depression, because then we're going to be like, why am I stuck? Okay, hello, let go. You know, so the universe is supporting for you to just let it go. Be like Elsa, let it go. All right. So what else? How else is the universe supporting this journey of self-acceptance? I saw this one. Okay, vibration. So this is about obviously raising to the vibration and letting go of the weight. And I feel like once you establish those boundaries and you feel empowered enough to say, you know what? No, I'm done. You can feel that relief, because if you see it, there's this feeling of release, like when you let go and you're just rising up, okay? So there is just that feel that the universe is supporting you on a very energetic frequency. You know, they want you to do this. Let it go so you can, almost like a balloon. You know, if you have a balloon, the balloon with helium wants to go up. But if you have like a weight, it's going to stay where it's at. So the universe wants you to cut it, let it go, so you can actually rise up to where you need to be. Okay, and it's a very painful process because unfortunately, perhaps those we love and respect, we really tend to see them for who they are, and it hurts because we're like, I really thought this person accepted me. I really thought this person was gonna be able to be flexible or adapt to my various transformations. And when we find out that it's not that way, it's a very painful process, you know. But like all shadow work, you know, we have to just go through it, you know, breathe through it, just have that compassion towards yourself, not getting angry with yourself and say, you know what, like I really thought this, but it was okay. I didn't know better at that time, and now I do. So I'm gonna take that wisdom and I'm gonna apply it and I'm gonna do better. Okay, so that's where we want to go, you know, and in doing the shadow work, you know, accepting that we just didn't know better, and that's okay, you know, that we're human, you know, and we're just taking it day by day. We're just learning without guidance, you know, because perhaps the people in your lives didn't guide you appropriately, you know, because perhaps they didn't even know themselves. They were just guiding their own by what they thought was best and to their best potential and capabilities, you know. So just, it's with that acceptance, you know, saying, you know what, I'm human, I'm not perfect, you know, and that's okay. Just taking it day by day. All right, so try to let go of what no longer serves you so you can raise the vibration, because the universe will support you in that. So let's go for the hopes. I feel like this one. So what are the hopes the collective has when it comes to the journey of self-acceptance? I saw this one here. We have, see, so a tribe. So this is about, you know, being able to find like-minded people, you know, because to raise the vibration, we need to find like-minded people. We need to find family and friends, you know, people that are in alignment with us, you know. And as you let go of these people that don't accept you, and as you raise your vibration, you become like a blue light, you know, like a flashing light, and you will bring people who will accept you, or people who've been through what you've been through, or you have like the same interests, and or you're on the same type of journey on healing, you know. And so you start to gain people who are more in alignment. But everything is a process, because there will come a cycle as you start to evolve, like we have with the blue flame. As you start to evolve, perhaps some of those people will also fall out of your lives, because it depends on their journey, on where they want to be at, and if they're willing to evolve with you or not. And perhaps it's just not meant for them to evolve at your frequency, you know, because we're all like radios. We all have like different stations, you know what I'm saying? So it's okay, you know. We just have to let people do what they need to do and what they want to do, because everyone has to do what's best for them, you know, and so do you. You have to do what's best for you. So as you do this, you will find your soul tribe. You will find your people. So let's see what the fears are. So what are the fears in regards to this journey of self-acceptance? We have, let's see, releasing fear. So when we talk about what's the fear, so there's the fear, you know, not being able to release the fear, not being able to actually carry out and follow through, you know, which is, it's normal, you know, because having to do that, having to tell people I'm done, you know, I'm really walking away, it's really hard, especially when it's people that we really love and care about, you know. So there is that fear of, can I really do that? You know, do I have what it takes to be like firm? You know, because sometimes we cut off people, we block them, and then they come back or they want to reestablish a connection, and then we don't honor that, like that disconnect. We go, okay, you know, why not? You know, but of course, you know, it leaves room for forgiveness, because it really depends, obviously, on the situation, you know, because if there probably was a misunderstanding, you know, and a person wants to come in and fix it, of course, you know, as that's where your own personal discernment comes in, and you are able to judge by situation, by circumstance, and say, you know what, I feel like this person we could fix this, or, you know, we could evolve together. Perhaps there's a certain lesson they needed to learn at that moment, you know, so maybe they are ready to evolve with me, or, you know, whatever. So obviously use your own judgment, or use your own discernment on who you should allow in your life, and people you should really be like, no, I'm sorry, but no. So there is definitely fear about being able to uphold that own personal agreement, you know, honoring that part of you that when you say no, that's it, you know, to actually follow through and be like, no, that's it, instead of doing like that back and forth and on and off, on and off. I feel like you definitely see that when it comes to like relationships, even friendships, you know, and perhaps even family, you know, all relationships, you know, we tend to sometimes do like that on and off thing. It can be really hard to break free. But I feel like that also stems from that insecurity and not being sure, like that self-doubt and that fear, and, you know, how we have with the guilt, you know, feeling guilty about taking that stance because we're so used to being blamed for everything that when we actually fight against adversary, we feel guilty about it, even when we know that they're wrong, you know. So the fear is quite understandable, you know. But remember, the whole point is of the hope. What is the hope? Finding our soul tribe, finding people who are like-minded, who can help us, help yourself, like increase your vibration, help you get on your path, or keep you on your path, because there's that support, you know what I'm saying? So try to keep that hope, you know, by, you know, that hope of bringing the vibration up and just meeting people who are like you. Okay, so let's do the outcome. So I feel like I have to do 3, so I'm gonna use 3 decks. So what can the collective expect from this journey of self-acceptance? And we have conscious words. So this is about being firm, you know, being impeccable with your word and meaning what you say. I feel like this has to do with being confident in what you say, and because that's where self-acceptance comes. When you accept yourself and you feel firm in yourself, you're able to tell people no and not feel bad about it, you know, put boundaries and not feel bad about it, you know, and being able to speak your truth. You saw we were talking about communication, you know, being able to tell people, this doesn't work for me, you know, we don't work and it's time to part ways. Okay, so there will definitely be a strength of how you communicate your needs and wants and desires. So what could the collective expect on this journey of self-acceptance if they follow the advice given? I saw this one. What is this one here? Okay, being fearless. So we, like I was saying, you know, you feel empowered. You don't feel afraid. Remember that fears was about releasing fear, being afraid. You know, if you follow the advice and really doing the transformation and really trying to find people most in alignment with you by accepting yourself, you will be fearless. You won't fear it. You won't fear who comes in, who doesn't, who, whatever they're going to want to do. You're not going to think too much of it because you're going to accept that everyone has their own journey, and you need to just focus on your lane, on you, on yourself. You will always be your greatest masterpiece. And you don't want to just some bullshit art. You know, you don't want to just like do whatever and have like a whatever picture. You know, you want to put some effort into it, you know, so do that. Put effort into yourself. You will always be your greatest masterpiece. Okay. So, last card. So what could the collective expect on this journey of self-acceptance if they listen to today's advice? I saw this one, so I'm going to leave that there, and this one. So we have forgiveness. So forgiveness of the self, being able to let go of poison, you know, the anger, resentment, and jealousy, and insecurity, you know, all the things that poison us. You know, being able to forgive ourselves for not knowing any better, and perhaps even forgiving people. You know, and forgiveness doesn't mean letting people back in your lives, but just saying, you know what, I forgive you because I don't want this thing to control my life anymore. You know, or just being able to let go of anger and say, you know, I don't want to be angry anymore. For what? Every moment you waste being angry, you wasting your life away. You know, and like one of my favorite quotes is, you know, anger is like drinking poison, and expecting the other person to die. And that's what it is. We hold on to these harsh feelings, and really what we're doing is we're killing ourselves, and we lose our identity because we're so involved in that anger. You know, or when we don't feel accepted, we get angry at people, and why can't they accept me? Or you get angry at yourself of, oh, I feel dumb for doing all these things, so I can be accepted. So it builds this resentment. So definitely you could expect forgiveness of self and others. And I think I changed it. Oops. So let's see what this one is. Oh, beautiful. I am present. I think it was just meant for me to shift that. I am present. So this is about, which is a very powerful statement. I am, because with I am, there is confidence. There is an encompassing love. There's an all-knowing divine wisdom and inner knowing and guidance that we all have. And accessing that energy of I am. There is that I accept myself. I love myself. I empower myself. I am powerful. I am love. You understand what I'm saying? So having that as the last card, I think it really was meant to be. You become that I am presence. Okay? So that is the end of this week's Pleiadian Starcast. I hope you enjoyed this one to provide something different. This is what I was guided to do, to pick a topic and to pull cards in regards to that topic. And if you really enjoyed it, or you feel like you can relate or resonate, you know, you feel free to comment below. And if you want a more in-depth reading, do know that I do my healing cosmic readings. All my readings are at 2222. I also do star seed readings, and I do the healing cosmic relationship read, where we go into the shadow aspects of both parties and what you can do to heal that relationship. And it doesn't only pertain to like boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife. It also pertains to family, cousins, friends. And so yeah, they all. So feel free to message me. So I want you guys to have a wonderful, wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your week. And I really hope that you can finally find your place in accepting yourself. Bye-bye.